Okay, hello everyone. It is Tuesday, the 8th of January. I'm live with Robin and Jason of the Disbury family. We're coming to you today to give you an update of things to come for 2019, a little bit of what happened at the end of 2018, and to give you a full synopsis of the forecast of everything that's going on between the two events. We've got the Birmingham Convention in Kidderminster at the beginning of September. We've also got the Amsterdam Convention at the end of September. So there's a lot of bits and pieces to go through. I'm going to give everyone a little minute to get into the chat room, get themselves settled. You're going to want to take maybe some pen, paper, get your pen and papers ready to take some notes because we've got a lot of information to give you. Robin, hello. Jason, hello. How are you, my darlings? Thank you for joining me. This is the first time I've been live in 2019, I think. My first live of 2019.
Cool. Fantastic.
Yep. So Happy New Year, I think.
Happy New Year.
If it is.
How you doing, guys?
Really well, thank you. And you, Jason?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. I'm just ready and raring to get started on this brand new year and see what we can do for 2019.
Good.
Can't wait to hear all about it.
As I was saying, the end of 2018 was really cool. On the 30th of December, as people already know, we went to Speaker's Corner on the 30th of December. Lots of other people came down that hadn't been there since probably the end of the summer, actually. I think in total, we had probably about a dozen of us there on the streets, having conversations with people. And funnily enough, on the same day, Robin, you were out in your local park. So we did a bit of simultaneous awareness that day, didn't we?
We did. Although mine was just two conversations, I managed to film one. It's what you call a good conversation. I like it when someone comes up to your banner and it just turns into a full-flown conversation. So yeah, it was really good. And I think, doing it repeatedly in one location actually spreads the word and people get to know who's this guy with his banner in the park. So it's good fun.
Right. Absolutely right. And you, Jason, I got an update on my YouTube that morning in the middle of the night o'clock. I think it was about 4:30, 5. You were like to the station. You had a monumental journey that day to get up to Speaker's Corner, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Because I wasn't sure I was going to go or make it and that, and I'm not sure what happened, but I think it was a couple of nights before I just decided that's it. I'm definitely going. It's the end of the year. Speaker's Corner happened, was it New Year's Eve or the day before New Year's Eve?
The day before, just the day before. 30th.
Yeah, and it was a journey. It was the end of the year that it was a must. We had to close it and finish it properly, and Speaker's Corner was the obvious choice. And so yeah, 4 o'clock 4 o'clock in the morning I left because the wife had the car, and we've only got one car, so all the trains didn't fit in time wise, so I had to bus it and economy class. So yeah, 4 o'clock in the morning, and the problem is that I phoned in a taxi, and you get these challenges, and 4 o'clock in the morning, you're like, there's no taxis, no one wants to get out of bed, and so I had to walk an hour to where the coach was picking me up, and and then oh god, it was a long day to try and get there, and oh god. If things could go wrong, things went wrong, for me to try and get there. And but anyway, once we got to Speaker's Corner, how amazing it was! It was it was fantastic. It was, yeah. We'll talk about that next.
For me, it was a far cry from where it was in June. For me, I was going through the day and I was looking at our first escapade there on the 24th of June. Compared to where we were at on the 30th of December. And to me, it was the difference between night and day. What was initially a situation where the majority of the people were ridiculing us, not letting us have a civilized discussion about questioning what we've been taught, has now turned into people like you said, Robin, people recognize the fact that we're there on a regular basis. We're constantly having new conversations with new people, tourists, passers-by, regulars that go to Speaker's Corner for a discussion. And I felt like it was an incredibly effective use of time. For the amount of diversity that we had from age range, culture, creed, background, you name it. It's like a, you know, a Technicolor dreamcoat of conversations. We had Anthony Riley there, we had Gary Heather there, Ruben was there, Leo was there, Eco Dave was there, the other Lee was there, Dave Mannell was there, Andrea was there, and that's just the names I can take off the top of my head. There's also, as you know, Jason, there's other guys that have been going to Speakers Corner for like 5, 6, 7 years who have known this but haven't actually openly been discussing it like we have. Now we're there having the discussions, they're starting to come over and they're starting to say, yeah, do you know what, this is encouraging, you guys keep doing this, keep having this conversation. And like I said, if I'm looking back to June when we first went there, I think it was good that we had the numbers that we had on that first day, because I think if we hadn't had those numbers, we probably would have been heckled to the point where we quite possibly would have been demotivated. So for me, it was a win-win situation for everybody, for those of us that were taking part, for those of us that were viewing. I think for everyone that's watched since we've gone to Speakers Corner in the first place to now, everyone's witnessed that progression of conversations. For those people that have followed since the first time we've gone there, you'll all see that as well. So for me, you're right, Jason, it was a nice end to a productive year. So many things have been done last year. And just to end it the day before New Year's Eve, and there was other people, that couple, What Shape Is the World, his channel and his partner, they came to the bar after with us, and even the troll, he came to the bar after with us.
He did. And he was nice. He was a nice chap.
He's a nice troll. I can't. Well, I'm not a troll. I don't know if I should call him a troll.
Yeah. But I give him a hard time to begin with. I really did. You know, like I was calling him for everything. You know, like a troll. But no, he was. You know, fairly genuine. You know, we had a drink afterwards. I had to apologise to him and shake his hand. So yeah.
A good time was had by all. A really good time was had by all. So thank you so much to everybody that came out to Speakers Corner. Thank you everybody that came to the viewing of everyone's channels and took the time to be there in the chat room and support everything that was going on. I really appreciate the time, because it was a long day. It was a long day. There's no getting away from it. We were there for hours. So thank you so much to everyone that supported it. And we're going to continue to do that for 2019. The next one is going to be at the end of January. Last Sunday in January. I'll put more details about that as we go through. I'm going to try and get a little graphic made for it, actually, so I can share it a little bit easier. But we'll be there the last Sunday of every month, and we'll keep doing it until the conversation becomes a civilized conversation and socially accepted. End of story. So moving on to 2019, we've got 3 major events that are going on that we're involved in so far. And I'll say so far because it's early days. We're only in the first couple of weeks of January.
That's right.
That's what we brought everybody here today to talk about. So for all of you in the chat room, we're now getting to the main bulk of this hangout that we're doing just now. So guys, we probably should start with Birmingham and Kidderminster, and the unveiling of what it is you're gonna unveil to us, Jason. So at this moment, I'm gonna hand it over to the both of you. You can pick which one wants to start, but I think it's gonna be you, Jason, after Robin.
Very good.
Jason, after Robin. So Robin,
Okay.
if you like to kick us off there, please, darling.
Okay, I'll be brief because a lot of people have heard about this already, but let's just give you the highlights. So on September the 13th to the 15th, we've booked a fantastic venue called the Pioneer Centre in Kidderminster, and it will include a Friday night, a Saturday and a Sunday, where all the meals, accommodation and conference facilities are all taken on by the Pioneer Centre. We've booked it, and we have capacity for 2 different halls, one of 200 seats and one of 300 seats. And we also have sleeping capacity for 320. We also have a day capacity of 500. That's day visitors plus the residents. And I've put together a schedule of speakers for the Saturday and the Sunday, and we've had some great people accept their invitation to speak. And I've promised to Dee Dee and Gary that I will sort of slowly drip feed who's accepted those invitations. Because we're kind of co-hosting or partnering up with Gary and Dee Dee, who've also set up and booked their venue for the end of September in Amsterdam. So the reason why we're going double header is because we see people might not be available for the mid-September, so they go off to Amsterdam, and there's those that might not be able to do Amsterdam, so they come to Birmingham. And between us, we're essentially putting on a choice for people, which is, I think, is fantastic. So my good friend Charlotte, who we've just interviewed on our podcast, is helping coordinate with me and doing all the admin. And we've just started to release information about the ticketing and the pricing. So if you want to go on to feconvention.com, you can click on either the Amsterdam or the Birmingham event, and you'll be able to see the ticket pricing. We've got discounts for children and discounts for group bookings. So if you've got friends and you can club together with 4 of you, you'll get a sizable discount. And children from 0 to 4 go free, from 4 to 11 get half price. Half price, and from 11 to 16 get 25% off. So it's super family friendly. There's foosball, table tennis. There's a basketball court outside. There's even a 5-a-side football court. So I've just got the forms into which activities can we have for free, and I'll probably book the football court for a couple of sessions for those who just want to chill out and maybe just sit out for an hour or do something in the evening. But we'll certainly have a party on the Friday night, and we'll have a party on the Saturday night. So I'm going to start looking at booking up a venue for that, and which ties me nicely into the Friday night and what Friday could all be about. And I'm going to now pass the baton over to you, Jason, because Friday night is all yours. And of course, it goes without saying, Roxanne, that you're co-hosting with me at the event. And so people will come and see you and I present and do the chair, if you like, around the mic in between presentations. But the Friday night is all yours, Jason and Roxanne. Yeah. So I will pass you over, and you can introduce us to what's just about to happen.
Right, I'm scared now.
And it's you, Jason. It's you, darling. Look, at this point, I just want to make a quick disclaimer, just a quick one, just while we're here, health and safety and all that. Those of you that have any medical ailments, any pacemakers, anything that's in like when you go to a theme park and they say those with medical ailments, like check yourself out, like take a moment. At this point, those of you that aren't sitting down that have medical ailments, please sit down, take a deep breath, and brace yourself. Fire away, Jason. No.
Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about the tour. A lot of people have been speaking to me about the tour, and when's it happening? When's it happening? And where's it going to be? And right, so I'm talking about the tour. So we've, when I say we, I had a group chat with a few people because I already had the tour in mind and the dates and locations and things. So I wanted to run it past some organisers of these conventions because they kind of might be able to fit something in. Anyway, so we had a group chat with Robin, Roxanne, Gary, Diddy, Adam Meakin, and Anthony Riley, Sleeping Warrior there. So I run it across them, and it's I seem to have got a thumbs up by them all, and everybody's on board with their full support, and everybody's quite excited. So what is it? Where are we going?
What is it? What is it? Tell us.
Right, I'm not even going to tell you. So I need to screen share now, and I will present the tour.
Well.
So let me screen share.
No worries.
Ooh. Tell me if you can see.
I will. 1 sec. Can still see you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Can still see you. Nearly. We're almost there. Yep, we're there. I can see an image of everybody now.
Lovely. Good.
Yeah.
Right. So you see my desktop there, yeah?
I sure do.
Good.
And okay. Will you do me a favour? Will you tell me when you stop presenting, just so I can hide the link and all that?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Go for it, my darling. Here we go.
So anyway, so it's actually one of my favourite pictures. That is, that was our
Me
first,
too.
that was our first activism. I just, you know, in Speakers Corner, and
What a happy bunch we are there, eh? Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at them smiles.
it was great. I treasure that moment forever. It's brilliant. But anyway, moving on. That's what we're failing. Let's see. It's just shall I and
yes. Woo!
The Globe Live Euro Tour 2019. 14,278 miles, 39 countries, 64 destinations. At first glance, you look at that and you think, no, that's not doable. It'll take you a bloody year to get around that. So we do it?
I'm thinking, where do I sign already? I'm just thinking, where do I sign?
So is it possible? Can we do this? You know, like we've worked out the mileage, the times, the route. The route has been changed to accommodate certain things, and I will show you where. Let's see where it starts. It will start here. It starts down here at Oakhampton, but before it starts, I'm going to do a quick photo shoot at Haytor Rocks in Dartmoor, just for a quick photo shoot there, and then we're starting off in Oakhampton. I chose Oakhampton. It's just central from everywhere. It's not really that big, but hopefully some people come. You know, it's about the size of Glastonbury, I think it was. You know, like, but we'll get a few good conversations, and it's kind of central in the middle of Devon and Cornwall there, and hopefully, you know, like people can join us. You know, at Oakhampton. When did it start? So it starts on the 29th of August. Okay. I've given a lot of careful consideration for all these dates, so that it fits into certain things, which I'll be telling you in a second. So from there, we're off to Bridgewater. Bridgewater, the 30th. In fact, every day is a new location, but I'll let you know. There'll be days within that.
Can I ask a question at this point? For everyone viewing, obviously, Robin has given the information out for the website for the FE conventions. But are we going to be able to let everybody see in the description the dates, the locations? Can we have all that for everybody in the description?
Yeah, it's all done. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, everybody you'll be able to download a printable one of the map and dates.
For all of you that are watching, just go over to the description of this video, and we'll have all of the links and information for you to click on, so that you've got all the information at your fingertips. Go on, Jason. Okay. Carry on.
Yeah. So I'm not going to read out the dates for each. It will be here forever, but you'll be able to download and see them dates. But every day should be a new location, like we did last time. Although there is about I think it's about 6 or 7 day offs, and that's just
understandably so. One thing you've got to make sure you do is not burn out. Last time, any days off, right?
And it gives us a little bit of leeway for eventualities that were, you know, like that happen that you're not expecting. Okay, so from Bridgewater, we're off to the Isle of Wight. Okay. So and then Isle of Wight, I'm just going to literally just read through this and Isle of Wight, we're going to Milton Keynes, off to Norwich, off to Sheffield. We've done Sheffield before in the past, but not on the last tour. And you know, like, it's a big place, Sheffield. I'd like to do that again. Off to Liverpool, and then we're going off to Sunderland, Carlisle, because we did Newcastle last time, so it's only fair that we did. Off to Carlisle, and then we're off to Edinburgh and Glasgow. I thought we did Edinburgh and Glasgow on the tour, but I don't think we did in the end. I think we were meant to do it, so I don't know why we didn't. Then we're going to cross over the waters and off to Belfast, down to Dublin, and then we're going to get the ferry across over on this this way here, and we're going to do Cardiff. But it's only one location, in, you know, like, because all the biggest places in Wales happen to be kind of Swansea, Cardiff, and Newport and that. So we're just going to do Cardiff, and then we're off to Birmingham, do a day in Birmingham, and then we're going to take 3 days off, and we're going to go to the convention. So got 3 days, and then we're going to support Robin and Charlotte, and we're going to spend some time at the I put down Kidderminster. It is kind of Kidderminster. I think it's always just outside Kidderminster. So 3 days there. which is, as Robin alluded to before, 13th, 14th, and 15th of September. That is.
And Jason, if I may interject, we're also going to do an activism workshop during the conference. So if you want to pick up the baton and help Jason along the way, but first of all get some training, why not drop in on the 14th and or book in for the conference in toto and come and get some training.
There you go. Yeah, and I'll be there too.
Absolutely brilliant. Do you know, that's a wonderful idea. Absolutely wonderful.
So we've got a long trip from which will probably be a day off at this point as well afterwards, because the first part of the location will be from Kidderminster, trying to go all the way to, and this is a huge trip, this is all the way to Bordeaux in France. Okay. Oh, I just noticed I've got a little error there in my map. I'll have to fix that later. Yeah, so Bordeaux in France. And then we're off to Madrid. Oh, let me just come out a little bit too.
Robin, I don't know about you, but I've got like a million thoughts running through my head of how can I abscond my normal life to do this? I don't want to go on for sections. I want to do this trip. For me, already, this is like a trip of a lifetime.
Well, I see the wine, I see the tapas.
Yeah, but look how many cultures and how many backgrounds and how many ministries of education you're going to go through all these different. It's just, whew.
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah. Anyway, let me just go through it.
Sorry.
That's okay. So we're off to Madrid, and then we're off to Lisbon, off to Gibraltar. Come visit them. There's monkeys in Gibraltar, I believe. So I want to see them. Valencia, and then Barcelona. And then there's Andorra. Oh, I haven't marked it in there. That we're meant to be going off to Andorra and then to Marseille. Yeah, so there will be a detour there. I don't know, another mistake. I knew I'd find mistakes when I start.
That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right.
And then we're off to from Marseille. We're off to Monaco. I didn't realise that's a country on its own there. In Monaco, there's a little country there. And then we're off to Bern in Switzerland. Now, the reason that we've done it kind of that way, because we're trying to fit this in, because from there all the way, and this is a huge undertaking, which we'll be having a day off to do this trip, like to get back. We're going to rush back to the Amsterdam convention with Gary and Diddy. Diddy has expressed an interest to might want to do, hang on, all of this part of the journey with me.
I'm down for that as well. Are you up for taking me to Amsterdam? Because I'll roll with you, Jason. If that's the case, I can do that instead of getting Eurostar to Amsterdam.
Well, I'm hoping there should be I don't know, 3 or 4 of us in the camper van at all times, like throughout the whole trip. So yeah, I mean, like I'll be asking for for a lot of helpers and that, like to experience this with us. And great if people know languages, like that, because that's going to be our. But we're going to be. We'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, we're off to Amsterdam, and then we'll be doing the 3 days at that convention. But we'll also be doing Amsterdam itself, some activities as well. And then from there, we'll be doing a little back leg on ourselves. We're going to go to Brussels first, and then we're off to Hamburg, and then we're off to Denmark, Copenhagen. And then we're going all the way up there to Oslo in Norway.
Oh.
Going off to Stockholm, Sweden. And then crossing over.
Wait. What's the stop at? Where's in between? What is that in between Stockholm and Turku? What is that set of islands in the middle?
I don't know, but the ferry stops there apparently. Yeah.
So what? Say that again.
The ferry that takes us over, it makes a stop there, and then it carries on.
What is that place called? Can you zoom in for a sec? What is that called?
Mariehamn.
Mariehamn. Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
So from there, we're off to Helsinki in Finland.
Lovely.
And then we come to Tallinn in Estonia. Riga in Latvia. I bet I'm not pronouncing half of these correctly, but we're off to Vilnius in Lithuania. From there, we're off to Warsaw in Poland, Berlin in Germany. And there may be better routes than that, so things might get change slightly.
It might be a streamlining of the route at some point, but instinctively, this is kind of the blueprint of what's happening.
Yeah. That's. I think we're on the right tracks. On
Oh yeah.
Way.
I'm sorry. I'm just gobsmacked at what I'm. I don't know about you, Robin, but whoa. Can we just breathe for a second, because I feel like the as well as the chat room, it's okay. Breathe. Everyone take it. It's okay. Exhale and breathe. And I need to sip my tea at this point.
I'm glad this is the second time I've seen it, Jason, because the first time there were some expletives in them. Blimey is just very mild. Blimey.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're off to Prague then, and Czechia. And then we're off to Bratislava. I was Slavia. I thought it was Bratislava, in Slovakia, and then making our way.
Oh wait, hold on. We're going through Hungary. We're going through Hungary.
Yeah.
You know what that means, guys. You know what that means. Romania and Hungary. Listen to all my Hungarian and Romanian counterparts. Get the Palenka ready. Just get the Palenka ready. Diminyata. It's all love. I need some Palenka in my life.
I don't know what that is, but I take it's drink, is it?
I'll tell you what, for those of you that don't know, answers in the chat room. Yes, it's the drink of all drinks. It's not just
I thought it'd be alcohol somewhere. We got.
Actually, you know what? It's actually considered medicine, not alcohol. It's the best kind of medicine going. Woo.
I always tell the wife that. I always say it's what's it, medicine? Yeah. So we're up to Moldova after that. What's it called? See, I can't pronounce half of these. Chisinau. And then we're off to Bucharest. And sorry, not Bucharest. We're going through Bucharest. In fact, no. Hang on. Sorry, let me just think. I think we are off to Bucharest.
Yeah,
Bucharest is the main city there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bucharest, yeah.
Sorry, I lost track there for a second. And then we're off to Belgrade in Serbia. Okay. And then we'll come around here. We're doing a quick detour to, I believe that was Kosovo there. I think that's Kosovo. I've lost me. Yeah, I think that's
right. Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah.
I can just see a few mistakes on the map. I'll have to deal with them later. And then we're going down to Skopje in Macedonia. I think before I go on this trip, I think I need to learn how to pronounce all of this. So we're off to Sofia in Bulgaria.
Flag, isn't it, guys? Very interesting flag.
Yeah.
To me, that looks like the sun and perspective on a flat plane. But anyway, just saying. That looks like lines of convergence on a flat plane. But anyway, moving on.
From Bulgaria, we're making our way all the way down to Athens in Greece. That's going to be a trip and a half, that one. And then we're making our way all the way back up to Albania. I did see we're in Albania. And then we're off to... give us a second. I must read this.
Is there a stop off before Sarajevo?
Sorry, what did you say?
There is stop off before Sarajevo between Albania and...
Yeah. I just get to on Albania. That's Tirana. It's called. My flag seems to have been hiding it. And then we're off to Podgora. This place here. That's Montenegro. That is.
Yeah.
And then we're off to Sarajevo in Bosnia. From there, we're making our way up to Zagreb in Croatia. And then we're going to another word that I can't pronounce. I'm terrible. I am at these words. It's called. It is in Slovenia, and it's called Ljubljana.
Wow.
Ljubljana. I think it's hidden behind there somewhere. But from there, we're going to drop in at Venice. It kind of smells a little bit in the summer, so hopefully by the time we get there, 31st of October, it will smell better, because I've only been once and it was, oh god, I've got a problem with smells. And it stinks.
You're very sensitive to the smellies, aren't you?
Yeah, it does. It stinks. But yeah, hopefully it does. It will quieten down that smell later. And then we're off to San Marino in well, I was going to say in Italy, but San Marino is a country all by itself.
Lovely. And I'm hoping you're going to tell me there's some days off coming soon now.
Well, there is a day off around here, because and we've been invited to hang out with Adam Meakin. He's got family there that lives there. So
I'm just going to call him Awesome Adam. He's the AA. He is the AA. Awesome Adam.
Well, from there, we're going to go to Rome. We're only doing one in Rome. Right. You could argue and say, well, there is another country there. You know, the Vatican City, isn't they? It's meant to be a country all by itself. But I doubt we'd get permission to go in there and start putting up our banners and all that. Although I'll have a go.
It's funny with all the talk of this American border and the wall. Everyone that's against it, but yeah, they have walls in the Vatican. They have, you know, they've built walls everywhere in the past, and it's, you know, no one blinks an eyelid.
That's right. Crazy. From there, we're off to Pisa. It'd be great if we can get close to there with our banners and that. You know, we'll see.
It.
And then we're off to Milan, going all the way up to Milan here.
Love it.
And then from Milan, we're off to Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein, yeah.
Vaduz from Liechtenstein. And then we're off to Munich in it's a shame that, you know, like it doesn't land on the dates for the Munich festival. I would have loved to have done that, but anyway, awesome. That would have been good. And then from there we're off to Frankfurt in Germany, and then we're off to Luxembourg, which is Luxembourg City in Luxembourg. And then just as it comes to the last two locations, we thought we'll kind of finish off with Paris here, and then take a day off, you know, like to get ourselves for the finale and finish in London, you know, so we'll be doing London as well.
Wow. I'm taking a breath. Wow.
Yeah, so as I say, I mean, like that, it comes down to 14,278 miles, 39 countries, 64 destinations, and giving you a little idea on the dates. There's your dates there. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
So for those only listening at the moment, we'll pop these in the show notes.
Yeah.
And Jason, your passport needs about 12 extra pages for this. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, right. I'll have to be in touch with them over that and see what happens then. I mean, there's
monumental, Jason. That's absolutely monumental. I'm dumbstruck. Actually, I'm blown away.
Yeah.
It's
oops. I'm going to stop sharing now.
Okay. Well, actually, I'm not sure that's going to be a problem. The reason for that is this is pre-recorded. So no one's going to be able to bomb this because it's going to have already been done. Just thought about that.
Yes. Jason, I'm really inspired. I mean, really inspired, mate. What an amazing vision you have. And all I can say is I salute you for having the guts to do this, but also, you know, all things happen because someone has an idea. You know, everything around you is created by someone's original thought. You know, they think, well, that's a good idea. I'm going to act on that idea. Most people put those kind of scary, audacious ideas on the shelf and go, too big for me. But no, mate, absolutely knocked it out of the park, and huge applause for you, mate. It's absolutely brilliant.
Wonderful. So we've been given the graphic, right? We've been given the graphic of the map. I'm sure we're in the chat room anyway, so we're facilitating with all your questions that you've got in the chat room. We've got some questions. Obviously, we have questions. Size of the camper van, facilitating people to get involved. How are we going to go about that? Can you, I mean, are we going to use the website? Are they going to be able to communicate with us through one avenue? I've got a few questions. I do have them listed.
Let me deal with them first, and I'm not writing things down. Yeah, look, so like what's it, the website, we've got the Facebook website, Globely on Facebook, and we've also got the globely.co.uk website as well. We'll be using that, so links will be in the description, I imagine.
I was going to say as well, is it possible to have this information on the Globe Live Convention section of their website as well, Robin? As and when the talks are available, and can
That's
you
right.
urge it in with that? Is that doable?
Yeah, yes, of course. Yeah, there's a link already on the feconvention.com website, which goes nowhere currently. But when we switch it on, we'll either post. I think it's probably safest to redirect you to Jason's website, so he's got one administration center that he's totally in control of.
And I was going to ask just one more thing before I forget. Sorry with all the millions of questions, and yeah, I probably should have taken my time a little bit with this, but something's just struck me with the website that I thought would be brilliant for the tour. You know, on the Globe Live Convention section where you've got the kind of darked out images and no one's been put into that image yet. Would it be possible to have like maybe not maybe a spreadsheet, but something representative like that, so that as the slots get filled up on a weekly basis on the Globe Live tour, you know, if people don't want to release their image and their name and stuff, maybe we can find a way to do it anonymously wise, so that publicly people can see the slots getting taken up on the tour, so that people have an optic on, okay, on week 3, the camper van's completely chocker. Everyone's already booked up slots on that. Week 6. Does that make sense? So that we don't have to keep regurgitate, and maybe emulate the same thing on the Globe Live tour
website,
on the Globe Live website as well, so that we can fill those spots for people.
Great idea.
I think I love the way it's been done in the conventions, where you've got all these darked out images, and the ones that have been confirmed have been put in, and the rest have been left blank just now until they get filled in. Does that make sense? Sorry for being
no, that sounds brilliant. Great idea. We'll do that.
I think it would be a useful optic, because then within one click people can just physically see, are there any silhouettes left on any given weeks, and then they can pick and choose as they need.
Yeah.
But that brings me to those questions as well, so I'll shut up.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, like, this is what the unexpected thing that Globe Live UK did for us. It allowed us to meet these new global deniers, flat earthers, flat earthers. It allowed us to meet all of these people, and this is what we're hoping to achieve with the Euro trip, is to bring all of the Europeans. You know, like we don't know them. I mean, like I was introduced to a channel the other day. What's it called? Mex.
Yeah, Effie and Mex, Sasha and Alexandra and the rest of the guys. They're awesome. They're awesome. They're over in Eastern Europe.
There you go. I mean, like, so there is flat earthers out there, and we don't know them. We don't know who they are, and it'd be great if we can bring everyone from Europe and, you know, like, into the spotlight and say, look, you know, it's not just the UK here. I mean, like, this is worldwide. You know, we're all in this together.
Well, that's what I got from you when you were talking about first engineering this, is that if you go to all the capital cities, you're only going to ever be within a few hundred miles of people that are in those retrospective countries. And where we've been online now for a while, and other people that have been online for even longer will know full well how many people are spread out across Europe. The silent majority is a lot, and there's a lot of people that have come out to us at Speakers Corner and everywhere that we went on the Globe Live tour that said, actually, I'm not really up for going in the comments section. I'm not really that kind of person online, but I really wanted to come out and be a part of this and be involved in some way. So I feel that that's going to be emulated all across Europe, all across these capital cities. Language barrier, I don't feel, is the monumental barrier that everyone thinks it is. You know, researching tourist destinations in their own right shows that language barrier is not an issue, especially when you use the optics that we do. I think the optics that we use with a little bit of revamping by themselves go through all of those barriers. You don't need words when you're using optics. And like you said, well, let me just lock the door. Carry on, darling. Go on.
I think all we need to do really is within the new banner format that we'll be doing, which will be mostly images, and then we'll be having interchangeable velcroed PVC little tiny banners that will be superimposed over the main banner for different countries. You know,
very good.
Yeah, we thought we'd do something like that. But look, that's what Roxanne just said then. I mean, like, we'll be going to all these countries and that, and meeting other flat earthers around the whole of Europe. most of these people already speak the two languages, you know, like, and they're going to be on hand to help us along the way. And hopefully the people that we're looking for to help us on this journey is you know, that you want to roll your sleeves up and get stuck in with some activism, and that you don't mind a bit of driving to do. It'd be great, even better, that you can speak a language in the country that you want to join us on. Even better.
So there's a couple of other shout outs for a bit of help, Jason. I remember Anthony's kindly agreed to do some editing, but wouldn't it be good to have someone doing spotting of conversations, like during a live stream that you hold? What was the hour and the minute and the brief synopsis of the conversation that gets had? Because it's time consuming, and loads of us are consuming this content, but how easy would it be just to jot down the minutes? Oh, that was a good conversation. That was roughly 10 minutes in. It was 5 minutes long, and it was a gentleman who, I don't know, was a scientific background. It was interesting. That sort of note taking would be very useful to the team. We're also putting a shout out with someone who likes admin, who's trustworthy and we can get to know obviously in good time, but who might want to do a bit of bookkeeping, i.e. when Jason has a receipt, we email it off to you, you record it on a spreadsheet, it gets stored on the cloud, and then we have our books all done for Jason whilst he's driving or the team are driving. And then potentially, I guess, Jason, you'd be quite happy to have someone doing route planning, driving, parking, and taking that off of you altogether, I guess, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
I'll just ask a real quick question. This might sound silly, but I was thinking there is a couple of projects that do live, what are they called? You know, like a live update of the budget spending. So as we're doing it, is there a way for us to use an app or technology so that we can actually give that transparency to people live as we go? Is there a way for us to, I mean, obviously we wouldn't necessarily want to, you know, with receipts and stuff, it will actually say the garage that you're at, on the road that you're on, in the destination that you are. So I think obviously there would be a, you know,
literally, I think we can just put it on an Excel spreadsheet and online, and then you can share that to the world. The world can't edit it, but they can see it
live as we go, instead of having to wait to the end of the actual tour to work out where we're at with things. And I think that might be a bit more user-friendly for us as well, and leave less work for everybody at the end when everybody knows where we're at concurrently through the tour in the first place. Just an idea. Just an idea.
No, it's brilliant. Yeah, I was just thinking that, which kind of brings us on to funding and money, the money side, if we're talking about bookkeeping and that. The things that we want help with this time is it really is. The receipts are really clear and easy to understand. It really is. It's help with fuel, help with the camper van, campsites, parking, YouTube. There will be tolls and maybe some insurance. I can't really think of anything else, but there may be other things that we might need help for. I'm hoping to, you know, like by then to donate an awful. I have a set in mind that I would like to put into the whole tour as well. We won't be asking anyone to pay for our food or drink. I have a bad. I would feel awkward about taking help or money from people, because last time we got given so much money for food and drink and things, and it was donated, and that's a better way of doing it, rather than just give us cash for food and drink, and then you guys see us all there drinking, having a party. No, if you see me eating or drinking, it's because I paid for it myself.
And the other thing is if there's people on the route.
My own on the tour as well. I didn't use any of the donate. I mean, I paid my way, so whatever I was eating and drinking was out of my own pocket as well.
The other thing is those people on the journey who might be close to the route or willing to come out, and either you've got some accommodation nearby that might be useful, or something that might give additional respite for Jason. Clean shower.
I've had a couple of people get in touch with me from Oslo, saying that they go through Oslo, they want to come out and link us to fill up the tank. So they specifically want to come and link us just to put fuel in at that stage. So,
awesome.
you know, all kinds of help like that would be greatly appreciated. Even if you want to come and meet us out on the road and follow us to wherever it is to top up, and you want to physically see that happen, thumbs up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's excellent. As I say, I mean, like there's and then you got Adam Meakin's going to help out, you know, like for a bit of respite there as well. And we're putting this out now, and like there'll be once probably every month or something until we get going, and you'll probably find that the amount of more help that's all put in place, it'll all come. Yeah, so I think as regards to funding, we're going to set up the same GoFundMe account and PayPal. We're not going to be doing Patreon. We found that was we got some amazing help through Patreon and all that, but it wasn't helpful, the actual format of Patreon. You know, like it was really hard to try and get money out of them. It was difficult, Patreon is, we found. So GoFundMe and PayPal will be set up. We're hoping. Can I tell them about this? About well, you know, it's too late because I'm not asking you. I'm just going to say. I said this offline. I mean, there has been talk, you know, like I mentioned, you know, like from 1 or 2 possibilities of someone. Was it maybe coming around with us, you know, in a documentary sort of way, possibly. You know, nothing's confirmed, nothing's in writing. Yeah, just whispers at the moment. We're just talking. And if that is the case, you know, like we're hoping that they would fund, you know, help towards the funding. You know, like
a lot of the cost issues, and they would get the content that they want. So, like, it's very early days, like Jason said. It's almost whispers at the moment, but this space, because if there is going to be content made, it will be honest content. It will be the same more or less content that you guys see us streaming live, except it possibly may be pitched to you know, something other than online streaming.
Well, getting on to the live streaming, I think there'll be 3 formats of live streaming. We'll have the hangouts of the evening, you know, like we did last time. We'll also be doing streaming on the day, you know, the activism type of streaming. But I'm hoping, you know, like even on the journey to get into these places, we'll be doing the odd snippets of streaming, you know, like on, you know, the journey, so that you can come along for the journey, so to speak, you know, like, and see where we're going and meeting people and that. So we're hoping to include everybody in on this huge undertaking, huge journey. Obviously, I have to take time out of work for this. You know, I'll be working all year, you know, like to help fund this as well, and then packing in my job just before I start again. So yeah, so it's a big commitment to, and obviously I won't be. I won't be earning any. There'll be no work for me. I won't be earning any money. So, like, to devote all my time for Europe is, I see this as one of the biggest bits of noise that I could possibly make. You know, like for Flat Earth at the moment. I can't think of anything bigger.
Just a quick question, because I know the chat room's probably going to have their concerns about you being on the road for so long, given how arduous the Globe Live tour was the other time. But the one thing I do want to ask you is, with the profession that you're going to be doing, I take it you're going to rack up a few thousand miles of solo driving a truck, or are you looking to do doubles when you go to trucking, or are you looking to do just solo?
Thing is, I don't know if you're all aware of it now. I'm actually my new job now is HGV driving, articulated lorry driving, and that. So that's my new job. So I take it by time that this all starts, you know, like all this driving will be on, you know, within my stride anyway. It's like just kind of what I do, and you know, so yeah, I'd imagine on some of there is some long journeys, you know, like that are over 6 hours. And kind of like, we probably could do with a second driver, you know, like to give us a hand on certain locations, you know, like off the tour. Yes, I'll be doing most of the driving.
Well, will your license need any classifications for the vehicle that's being used on the actual tour?
No, well, yeah, that's right. My license is okay, but I think is it a class B? I think it is. That the camper van is over 3.5 ton. I think it is.
Okay.
So yeah, so anyone who joins us and wants to do a bit of driving, yeah, we'll have to look into your license and make sure that you're okay to drive it. It's a 7-seater camper van. We've learned by our mistake. We tried to do it on the cheap last time, and it cost us a week's worth of breaking down. We
and high fuel costs. I will add.
Yeah, that's it. It cost us money out of it. It was in the end. We've learned by our lessons. Like that. We're not going to do that again. We want a reliable camper van this time. I think that's the way to go. And the problem is, because it's a reliable camper van, people will be saying, "Oh yeah, like look how luxurious this camper van is." And it just is what it is. We want something reliable. Yeah. There's not much we can do about it.
Well said. Well said. So I can imagine the chat room. I've got questions that they want to ask, and as I said, we're in the chat room with you all to facilitate those questions. And this is just the first kind of step of talking about this and letting you guys know this is happening. So this is very much a blueprint, and some of these details that we're giving you today could be subject to change. I definitely want to put that out there, because like you said, there could be some streamlining done. There could be suggestions that are given to you that are complete and utter changes of the goalposts, so to speak. So we definitely want to let you know that this is the first blueprint that Jason's releasing with this tour, collaboratively with the Global Convention and the convention in Amsterdam. So these events are all intertwined with each other, if you will. One in turns the same. So this tour is going to, as Jason said, it's going to include the first convention, which is all about the tour and everything that comes with it, and then overlap the second convention and carry on from there on in. So between August and November, we've got more or less consistent activities going on, which then end just a stone's throw from the international ones going on in America and Canada.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's called momentum. That's huge momentum.
And I believe there's the one in New Zealand as well that Dave Marsh, I think, is going to early on in the year. So there's bits and pieces even before this as well. So I just wanted to put that out there and just let everybody know that one in turns the other. So you can be at one of these conventions and join the tour. It's going to be at both of these conventions. So just remember that, please. Just remember that.
Also, if I might add, although we're not doing as many dates, many locations in the UK. This is a long way away. 29th of August, the first location, the first date starts. So up until that date, chances are that we would have already gone round a lot of other locations around the UK anyway. So just to keep that in mind, if you feel like that we're not getting close enough to your location, hopefully we might do in the summer, and until then, we'll see.
Awesome. I'm excited. I'm very excited. And I believe you guys, after this, you're going straight over to Sun and Moon for Boys' Night.
We
so
are.
In the chat room, as soon as we wrap this hangout up, I would strongly suggest you get over to Sun and Moon, because the boys are going to be joining Karen and a good few other guys, because I think I haven't heard of Boys' Night before, so this should be interesting. I mean, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, if you figure out some more questions to ask us, grab us over there.
Yes. And I just want to say again, we've recorded this to premiere with you because we genuinely wanted to pay full attention to the chat room because of the enormity of all the information that's being poured out by us now. We thought to do this live and to try and pay attention to you all in the chat room would have just been a step too far. So we wanted to record this, and right now let everybody know it's just coming up to 5 o'clock in the day. And I hope we've been able to be helpful in the chat room just now. But like Jason said, if anything hasn't been answered or explained clearly enough, by all means, ask Robin and Jason over in Boys' Night on Karen's channel. I'll put the link in the chat room for you now so you can click it and go over.
And
yeah, go for it, Robin.
And if you're hearing this after the event, like you're replaying the premiere or you're listening on the podcast, then what's the best email address to get hold of you, Jason?
It can be jason@globaleye.co.uk or Roxanne@UK or even Robin@globaleye.co.uk. You can get us on either of them, and yeah, we'll receive it.
Fantastic.
Okay.
That's so user friendly. Thank you. That's brilliant. We'll have all of those links in the description. And as Robin said, you know, if you're listening to this after the fact and not on the day, please do use the description box, because we're going to put all of the links and all of the information that we have just now to hand for you to be as helpful as possible. And we will, like Jason said, we'll between the podcasts and everything else we're doing, we'll maintain giving you regular updates. But we do suggest that you go over to the FE Convention website, go to the Global Eye website, because the live updates for any of this information, you'll see them there first. And then they'll be reiterated on these live Hangouts and when you see us on other Hangouts. And have I missed anything out there, Robin?
No, I think you've covered it, and that's absolutely great. There is a Facebook group for Jason's Global Eye. So that's called Global Eye Facebook group. Yep. There's also a private group for the FE convention. So if you search for Global Eye Convention 2019, you'll see a Facebook. You can join that. We'll accept you in, and there's various broadcasts in there, and you can interact with your community.
Yeah, I think also in the description as well, which I'll pass on some links to for Roxanne to put in the description. You'll be able to download the map and the tour dates. You'll be able to download them as well.
Oh, sorry, I had myself on mute there. I was talking away to myself. That's lovely. We'll have all of those in the description. I want to thank you all for being here with us this evening while we go through the ins and outs of the Global Eye Tour, the Global Eye Convention, and letting you know about the Amsterdam one as well. Guys, thank you very much. Chat room, thank you very much. We're now going to wrap it up for this evening and let you guys get off and sort yourselves out before later on boys' night. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Thanks for listening.
Wunderbar. All right, my darlings, and to everyone in the chat room, we shall see you next time. Take care. Bye.